Good evening, everyone. This is Donald again. How's it going? It is around 8:20 p.m. on Tuesday, April 28th. I hope everyone's doing well. Yes, it's a little early today. I decided to record because if if you're looking at this on YouTube or Facebook, you'll see I have some new cover art. I just went ahead and followed a video I had used before on YouTube to go through the process of recreating some new art. So I spent an hour or so debating what I should name my new podcast. I decided to furlough, quote unquote, Dr. Don for now. Dr. Don's a remnant from my old job, and it wasn't necessarily reflective of my what I've been doing lately on the podcast. So the new name of the podcast is just MOD, M-O-D, or the long way of saying it is The Musings of Don. I don't want to keep referring to that, so I thought the MOD would be kind of a good acronym for me to use. I'm full of acronyms from my past days in my old job, so I figured MOD would be somewhat easy to remember for folks. So yes, I have a new image. Otherwise, nothing else has changed. I'm just going to record, but the name of the podcast more accurately reflects what I wanted to do, which is, I'm just going to talk about things I've been thinking about, whether it's myself, things in the world, whatever the case may be. So hope that you guys enjoy it. Hope you guys like the artwork as well. I'm not the most creative, artistic guy in the world, but having that YouTube video teach me how to do things gives me some room to at least, okay, let me get the process down of how I would create something, and then I can kind of figure out how I want to structure pictures and text together. So the topic of the day, or the question of the day, continuing on from what I talked about over the weekend, is what are you thankful for? Especially in this time of the coronavirus, COVID-19, whatever you want to call it. Most of the people I've talked to are in pretty good situations. Yes, they're working, they're at home, they got kids. Things aren't as easy as they could be for various reasons, but overall people can't really complain. Compared to some of the folks who have been forced into unemployment, or if they're a business owner, their businesses have been forced to shut down, or they're not doing very much business because let's say they're a restaurant and they can only do, to-go orders, for example. So they're all struggling a little bit. But even though most of us may be doing well, there may be people who aren't. So if anyone's struggling, or even if you're not, it's always good to look back at what you're thankful for and keep some positivity because, as Mr. Governor Newsom today talked about, there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and hopefully we will be slowly but surely released from this shelter in place within the next weeks, a couple of months maybe, we'll see. And then we'll hopefully start slowly getting back to maybe a new normal, but at least we'll be able to have a little more freedom. But in the meantime, what are you thankful for? Let me know what your thoughts are, what you've been thankful for the most in the last several months that we've been sheltered in place. Before I talk about my answers about what I'm thankful for, let me give you some context, right? I called a friend yesterday, hadn't talked to her in a few weeks, just to check in, and we were talking. She's somewhat self-employed, and her type of job right now, she can't work because it involves people. And so she can't work, but one of her clients actually is nice enough to give her some money, which is actually a plus. Otherwise, she's not getting a whole lot of income right now, but she still has a roof over her head and stuff like that. So overall, that's a positive. And she has insurance, or health insurance, which is good. But in talking to her, it made me realize from my own perspective how lucky I am. As most people know, I actually do have, I am unemployed, right? But one could complain, it would be nice to have a job like most of my friends, most people I've been talking to. I don't have it all that bad at this point, at this moment in time. I was telling my friend, I said, man, I actually, have a lot to be thankful for. So that's why I'm recording this, just to share that, I do have a lot to be thankful for, even though things may look bad from the outside. I don't have a job, I have a lot of things to be thankful for. So let me go through my list. Number one, obviously I've mentioned it before, friends and family. Can't go without Dad. Dad's been helpful, with a lot of stuff during this lockdown. So, that's always a good thing. friends. Can't get by without friends, and social contact, even if it's through Zoom. So thanks to all the friends that I've been talking to on the phone, through Zoom, whatever the case may be, even on Facebook. Everything's been very good. Thank you very much, guys. Number 2, I got a roof over my head. Yes, I have a house. Yes, I have a mortgage payment. Yes, I don't have a job, but I'm fortunate. Besides having a roof over my head, I do have enough money at this point saved, and between unemployment, I can make do. And I don't have to dip into savings that much at this point, which is a plus. So right? I'm very thankful that this is how the situation played out, because I read about other people who are desperately scrambling to try to get their stimulus check, trying to get their self-employment, unemployment, or even just regular unemployment. It's a bit of a challenge. I'm lucky everything's all set. I mentioned I interviewed for a job last week. I'm waiting to see what happens. But, regardless, I'm still thankful for what I have now. Even if I don't have a job, that's okay. But I'm thankful for that. I'm able to take care of the house and be in a house, unlike people who may be struggling and whatnot. And lastly, like I mentioned, people are struggling, right? People are scrambling, I can even look at my friends who have jobs and have to work from home, but they have to work around with their kids, work a lot of long hours. I don't have to worry about that. I don't have to worry about paying bills and trying to scrap up money just to pay bills, whether it's my rent, mortgage, or business who try to pay rent and try to keep their things going. So there's a huge amount of struggle that a lot of people are dealing with. And I'm like, I get to sit at home. I go out and buy some groceries and, hang out, watch TV, look for my work, do my resume thing, do some creative things like this. I cannot complain about life at this point. Things are, things could always be better, but they could also be really a lot worse. And they're not that bad at this point, and I'm very thankful for that. So that's my things that I'm thankful for, and that's all I really have to share today. I wanted to kind of introduce the new podcast format, the new name really, but otherwise things will stay the same. But also give a topic for people to kind of reflect back and just be thankful for a lot of the things that, have been going on, even if it's a lot negative. But again, looking at the positive, things are slowly coming to a close, hopefully, at some point. As long as we keep together and, try not to go out too much, hopefully we'll be able to at least get out, do some minor stuff, maybe not fully back to where we were, but maybe down the line we will be able to. All right. I'll keep it short tonight. That's about it. Let me know what your thoughts about being thankful for, what you're thankful for, and we'll go from there. And I'll be back at some point during this week with more recordings. All right. Have a great rest of your evening and week. We'll talk to you soon. Bye now.